Welcome to Radioflash, Armada's dedicated defence and security electromagnetic podcast, with your host Tom Withington at the controls. Now, one thing you need to know about Armada is that we love tactical data links. Some would say we're even obsessed by them. And this unsung technology has been around in some shape or form since the Second World War. And the ability to share tactical data at the speed of light with military assets is a critical capability. But data links have not always had the coverage or attention they deserve, but that may all be about to change. An exciting film documentary project is afoot, which will tell the fascinating story of the tactical data links evolution. The idea is the brainchild of Sean Bergesen, who has spent much of his professional life working with data links, both in the military and later in industry. Sean is now a filmmaker and he joins us today from his home in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Sean, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to the podcast.
Great to be here, Tom. Enjoying hanging out with you and with your listeners, and thanks so much.
Well, we're very much looking forward to a discussion about data links today. This is going to be fun. I thought before we discuss the project, I really want to ask you what prompted you to make a film about the history of tactical data links.
Well, they say if you're going to write a book or make a film, you should do something you know about and are passionate about. So that's one thing I knew about and I was passionate about. So if I'm going to make a film, it's going to be about tactical data links.
Now, I've been very lucky in having a sneak preview at some of the briefing materials you shared with me before we started recording this podcast. You cover a lot of topics in your documentary. So for our listeners, could you share some of the areas that you're going to be looking at in the film?
The first one is sort of why do you have data links? And that's where it gets into the fog of war. And it's really the fog of war has been with us for a long time. Little changes over the years have helped, but tactical data links, that's its sole purpose in life, is to reduce the fog of war, at least on the friendly forces side. So that's one of the key themes that'll be throughout the film. So another one is equipment's important, but people are even more important. And that's probably true of many areas in defense. In the film, I focus on people. And all the various characters it takes to create data links and then make them work. We look at where data links came from, where they are today, where they're going in the future, and some interesting twists on that, like Link 16 in space, tactical data links in weapons, data links on drones. All of those things are right now really moving forward in terms of their capability. Even though this film is about a highly technical subject, and I'll take a few deep dives into technology, it's mostly about the people, so only a handful of deep dives into very technical subjects, but it's about people and their accomplishments. The last thing I'll mention is many defense film or films about defense things, they're like advertisements and they just tell you the good stuff. Well, tactical data links, like every other endeavor in defense, has some warts and some hiccups and things that are imperfect. And so I'll delve into those things a little bit as well.
Now, as a filmmaker, you know better than anybody else that the process of making films, it can be a fiendishly difficult and long-winded process at times. And I was wondering, where do things stand at present with the project and how much progress have you made so far?
So I've been at it with the idea for a little over 4 years. And I thought, oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be easy. And as soon as I went out and started looking for money to help out, a company named Viasat, who's very strong in the tactical data link world, or has been, they threw $10,000 at me and said, Sean, have at it. And I thought, this is going to be easy, piece of cake. And so spent that money and got some other good donations. And so I've filmed probably 15% of what I need to film. But then after that, fundraising became very difficult. That's the primary hurdle I need to get over. So with that in mind, just a few months ago, I brought in some producers because that is their job, to get that train on the track, moving down and keep it on the track and get it to the finish line. So I brought on three people. John Kohut, guy from Galt Aerospace, senior leader, used to be in charge of the International Link 16 program office. So great background, great mover and shaker in defense. At some point in his distant past, he thought about making a film. So that was the connection. He said, I'm on board. Great help already. We brought in another lady or another person, Heidi Christensen, and she's a seasoned filmmaker that knows about filmmaking. So she was a great addition. And then just recently added a guy named George Galderisi. He actually still works at Naval Information Warfare Center, but he also on the side writes fiction and nonfiction books. So the addition of him will help us expand on this or to craft the story just right to be a successful film. So I'm hoping those three folks can really help get the train rolling and get it to its destination.
So with those three individuals in mind, and you mentioned Viasat as well as another very important partner, who else are you working with to bring the film to fruition?
So two other organizations that are important. One is the International Documentary Association, and they, provide services to documentary filmmakers and networking. And they also, when I get money donated, it goes into their coffers so that it can be tax deductible. And then they require me to file reports and bring some rigor to my financial side of things, which is great. The other organization is the International Datalinks Society. And they've been great. They're supportive. They help me craft the story, help me make connections. And then they have a symposium once a year. This year it'll be in Victoria, British Columbia in Canada. And that once a year symposium allows Datalink people from all over the globe get together. It's kind of like an association of old crows thing just for Datalinks. And so that's very helpful.
Sean, share with us a little about how folks can get involved and help and support what you're doing.
The most important thing for me is for people to tell others about the project, to go to the website, take a look, give me feedback, but then help me promote the film, especially if they're in the defense industry or in the government side of things. I need advocacy. That's what I need, is advocacy for people to go out and beat the drum and go, this is a great project. Hey, Joe, I would like you to support this because we need access to military and government. And that's a hard part of making a film like this, is access to military and government. And it takes approval and advocacy. So that's what I would like, advocacy.
Well, everybody, you heard what Sean needs. I'm sure our loyal audience in Armada will be very keen to step up to the plate and render any assistance that they can. And Sean, I really do hope you'll come back in a few months next year, whenever. Brief us again on where you are, what's been happening. We're certainly very keen to support you all we can in your endeavour. So thank you very much for letting us know more, and thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Tom.
In our discussion, we did omit to mention the name of the movie, which is Timber Suite. And I learned from your briefing materials, I didn't know this, that Timber Suite is a brevity code for Timber being Link 16 and Suite being okay. And your website, timbersuitemovie.com, is where folks can go and find more details about the project. You'll also find Sean's contact details there, so you can get in touch with him and his team. Alas, for now, that's all we have time for. But don't forget, there's more news and analysis at armadainternational.com. Thanks for listening.